What's up, people? One Nut Punch here, coming back to Siege of Dungeon after it came out in a 1.0 full release from early access. So, what did they do with Siege of Dungeon? Well, they added over 60 relics, 15 or more skills and unlockable ultimate skills, dungeon challenge system, character enhancements, new skills, and relic unlock system, as well as the brand new character, which is the Berserker, which I'll talk about a little bit later, and the true ending of the game. They still have a couple of things from the early access release, which was you go and do these different dungeons, and the entire objective of the game is to find these crystals so that you could fight the boss, defeat the boss, and then move on to the new level after that. The turn-based mechanics of the game are still as follows. You have the skills that go off of mana, which is mana points, and then you have the additional upgraded skills, which is BP. That would be the ultimate skills after that. They still have the samurai, the priest, the mage, the archer, and then just now with the Berserker class. The Berserker is actually kind of different compared to the samurai. The samurai's got armor, and he does like single strike attacks with a sword. Well, the Berserker's skills go off of dual wielding axes, and he has two different ones. One is called Warcry, which allows you to heal for 25% of the HP lost, and Savage Strikes, which does, I think it's like 10% of your health, but does like 13 plus damage or whichever amount of damage you've taken. Because depending upon how many times you are hit, that's how much damage you actually do. One of his ultimate abilities is called Frenzied Slashes, and what that does is that depending upon how many times you were hit, that's how much damage you do per strike. So instead of just doing one 5 damage hit, you'll do 4 or 5 plus damage per hit. So sometimes it can go from 25 damage to 30. I think the most I've ever done was like 40 damage on hit, and that was against the Goblin King. And the Goblin King in the game is that once you fight him, I think he's like one of the end bosses or one of the bigger villains to deal with. You have to wait for him to strike, and he'll kill all his minions on top of hitting you with a single like swing of his giant, I guess it's like a pillar, and he'll try to insta-kill you with it. So if you don't have high armor or high health, or you're not healthy enough, let alone being able to put up a guard for all your characters so they don't take full damage, he will probably one-shot your entire party with a single swing of his weapon. But getting into the actual rooms where you're going and walking around on the different floors that you're currently descending, they'll have these different event areas, not just fighting, a goblin here or like a elite character there, but there'll be events like the goblin statue that if you salute it will give you +5 from damage for the berserker. That being said, there'll be other areas like there'll be statues that do magic attack or physical defense. It really depends on what you find, and they'll be on different floors before you go and fight off the actual boss. Of course, the main objective of this dungeon is to find the boss crystal, destroy it by killing the boss, and then move on to the next floor. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the merchant when you find him. He'll disappear when you're done, but he'll also give you the ability to buy stuff, to sell stuff, and to be able to end different things like skills. Say, for example, you want your berserker to have healing, or you want your priest to have revive. When you buy those things from him, he'll go ahead and engrave it into your character, and there'll be other slots that'll be unlocked later the more levels are progressed. Then again, being a roguelike, there's probably going to be end-game stuff depending upon the run later on and you get to the hub. Probably unlock some more weapons, some more skills. There are some artifacts that you could find, as well as items that you can unlock the more you level progress in the game. Say, for example, you want to get a different weapon like a spear, or maybe a trinket that you haven't discovered yet. That is something that you could buy. They also have different currency, which is insight, or they have fragments. And fragments are a little bit different than insight, because insight is technically the global currency. Fragments are something you would get after defeating an elite or a boss, and that will be for new weapons for your character, maybe a new item, or being able to unlock a new skill. That being said, most of the things that was in early access basically stayed in the game. The only difference is that they decided to put in the new class, add some more stuff with it. Like, they do have challenger rooms where you go and you fight off like multiple elites or bosses inside of a room, and if you complete it, they give you a shit ton of reward, and then they'll have like rooms to where you fight other like types of bosses that were in the past, give you more money and insight and even more fragments if you complete it. Speaking about unlocks and trinkets, I wanted to show off the Abyss Seminary, which is essentially the place you'd go to on the main menu, and this is the unlockables for some of the things you'd get per run or per win, depending upon what happens. If you lose a run, you still get some of the purple currency on the bottom that allows you to unlock new skills, and then being able to increase the stats of your character, which I don't think was in early access before it became 1.0. Of course, they have all the characters, all 5 of them: Samurai, Archer, Mage, Priest, and of course the Berserker. But the Abyss Seminary is where you would go to unlock new items, new trinkets, new powers, and so on. Like I said, that depends upon the run itself. If the run was pretty far, like you got maybe to the 3rd floor, you'll probably have like 12 or 13 of the purple currency. That can get you like 1 or 2 items, depending upon how much it is. If you're getting skills, it might be a little bit cheaper, and that's just more stuff to put on your character to leveling them out so that you can get more, of course, damage, health, or being able to attack harder and survive more onslaught attacks like what the Goblin King does. In closing, before the video ends, I wanted to come back and check out Siege of Dungeon, at least on 1.0. I did do a video for it when it was in early access, and coming back to see it with the Berserker is a definitely refreshing time to be trying out new things. Other than Siege of Dungeon, I've seen Hellcard came out 1.0, Cygnus Enterprise hit 1.0, and Moonbreaker hit 1.0. So I might go back and check out them games just to see how they are. Anyway, I've been One Nut Punch, and this has been another video. Thanks for watching as per usual. And like I said, if you want to go ahead and give Siege of Dungeon a shot, its full asking price is $13 on Steam. However, they have a 20% discount right now until February 15th, 2024. And like I said, this has been another video. I've been One Nut Punch. Thanks for watching as per usual. And here's a little bit of the ending content for Siege of Dungeon and the OST. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching.